Bingo has a stomachache. After breakfast, the dining table needs to be tidied up. When starting out with small tasks, everyone can be a little clumsy. Slowing down makes things easier to manage. Observing the correct way to do things helps make the job tidier. Working together makes things easier. Being careful in each small step helps avoid making more mess. Correcting mistakes helps the work continue smoothly. Clearly visible results bring a very pleasant feeling. Completing small tasks by hand helps children gain more confidence. Maintaining a tidy routine every day keeps the home warm and inviting. Building a small fence. A cool morning, the whole family stands in front of an empty patch of yard. Dad pulls out a measuring tape to check the spacing. Mom marks the spots with white chalk. Sister and little brother line up the short wooden posts. Dad grabs a hammer and drives in the first post. Thud, thud. Firm and steady. Mom holds the post, checking the balance by eye. She nods to signal it's good. Sister passes over a wooden plank. Little brother runs back and forth, handing over nails. Thud! The post tilts slightly. Mom raises her hand to stop. The family steps back to look. Dad pulls the post out and adjusts it. Sister holds one end, Mom steadies it. Dad hammers again. Their rhythm becomes steady. The fence grows section by section. The fence is complete. Little brother taps a post lightly. Tap, tap. Mom, Dad, and Sister smile with pride.
Shooting star. The night has fallen. Bluey and Bandit settle down for a quiet evening on the veranda after a long day of play. Bluey gazes up at the twinkling stars, and suddenly she points an excited finger towards the sky. A brilliant, swift streak of light, a shooting star, flies across the dark night sky. Both Dad and daughter watch it pass. Bluey turns to look at her dad. Her eyes wide with surprise and a little bit of wonder. Bandit gently pulls Bluey into a warm hug. Bluey closes her eyes, keeping her silent wish completely private. She opens them, giving a look of pure contentment. Bandit tightens his hug, savoring the special moment.
Huh? It's time the room got tidied up. But cleaning doesn't have to be boring. Bluey turns cleaning into a little game. Every task has its own meaning. Working together makes everything easier. Tidying up makes the room more pleasant. The result is something to be proud of. A tidy room for a good night's sleep. Snowman. Bluey arrived at the beach with a big idea. Bluey began preparing the sand to build a sandcastle. The first sandcastle appeared. Bluey wanted his sandcastle to be even bigger. The sandcastle began to take on a clearer shape. Bingo also joined in to help build the sandcastle. Bluey found more decorations for the sandcastle. The sandcastle became very beautiful and special. The approaching waves made Bluey a little nervous. Oh no! The sandcastle was more carefully protected. Bluey was very proud of his sandcastle. Even a simple beach outing can bring great joy. One energetic morning, The two sisters decided to go out and exercise. Sports don't need to be perfect. Just bring joy. And then a new friend joined in. When things get too exciting, things can go a little too far. Joy is only complete when everyone feels comfortable. Understanding each other better is the first step to a fun game. When everyone adjusts together, the game becomes harmonious. Sports isn't about winning or losing, but about bonding. A little tired, but very happy. When you know how to play together, every fun activity becomes meaningful. Bluey and Bingo found the treasure. Just turn away for a moment. The treasure moved. The treasure seemed to be teasing them. Every time they didn't look, the treasure moved. They decided to observe carefully. The treasure finally stayed still. A peaceful afternoon is perfect for a light, active game. Playing ball gently provides exercise while remaining safe. Sometimes adjusting the force is necessary for a smooth game. Knowing when to stop helps avoid unwanted situations.
Oh.
Playing slowly allows for better control during each turn.
Okay.
Coordination makes the game more enjoyable. You don't need to play hard to have fun. Knowing when to stop helps avoid unwanted situations. Taking breaks at the right time keeps the body comfortable. Woo-hoo-hoo! Playing sports is more meaningful when you know how to control and care for each other. Snowman. covering the roof to avoid the rain afternoon. Mom looks up at the sky, raises her hand to feel the wind. A raindrop lands on her hand. Mom turns toward the yard, signaling urgently. Dad runs to the shed, pulling out a large tarp. The wind grows stronger. Leaves rustle loudly. Dad spreads the tarp over the items in the yard. Flap! A strong gust lifts the tarp up. Dad holds one corner of the tarp. Mom grips the other corner. Sister jumps onto a chair, pulling the tarp edge down. Little brother presses hard on the lowest corner. The tarp billows like a sail. Everyone sways, but keeps holding on. Rain starts pouring down. Water slides off the tarp, streaming down in lines. Items are dry. Plant pots are safe. Chairs are fully covered. Everyone sighs in relief. The secret painting. A large sheet of drawing paper is spread out on the floor. Paints, brushes, and crayons are placed around it. Mom, Dad, sister, and little brother look at one another. Dad gestures a rectangle in the air. We draw together. Dad sits down at one corner of the paper. Using a brush, he paints a simple house. Lines a bit rough but solid. Mom chooses soft colors. She paints flowers, trees, and the sky. Each stroke slow and gentle. Sister picks bright colors. She draws smiling people, arms and legs a little long, full of lively expression. Little brother sits right down on the floor. With crayons, he draws a big sun, coloring outside the lines, smudging a bit. The family steps back a few steps, seeing the whole painting for the first time. The house is off-center from the sun. The trees are bigger than the people. Colors don't match, lines overlap. They look at one another and burst out laughing. One fine day, the family decided to wash their beloved car. When you're too excited, things can easily become excessive. Doing things the right way makes the job easier. Saving money is part of caring for the environment. Safety is always paramount. It's okay to make a small mistake, as long as you know how to correct it. Being tidy helps things finish faster. When working together, the joy always outweighs the fatigue. One special morning, the family decided to try something new. Today is device-free day. No screens. Everything suddenly became quiet. At first, it seemed a little boring, but then a small idea appeared. When there are no devices, imagination begins to speak. It doesn't need to be right, just fun. Simple moments become memorable. When there are no distractions, we are closer. Sometimes, disconnecting from screens helps us connect with each other. One cool morning, Bluey and Bingo discovered strange footprints in the grass.
Let's go! Aha! Huh?
But in just a moment, the footprints began to disappear.
Aha!
Each step left a unique mark. No two were alike.
Huh?
Some footprints were distinct, and others were easily forgotten. Finally, the wind erased all traces. Footprints may disappear, but joy remains. A gentle morning begins with colorful sheets of paper. Small letters filled with so much love. A simple idea transforms the room into a post office. Huh? And then, the first postman appears. When you receive a letter, joy spreads throughout the house. Knowing how to organize makes things run more smoothly. Every step brings a small joy. When you receive a letter, joy spreads throughout the house. Huh? Giving also brings happiness. Small letters can carry immense affection. The whole family was having a fun time preparing an outdoor meal. But then the wind started blowing gently. The wind suddenly messed everything up. The whole family had to react quickly. The scarf seemed to be playing tricks on everyone. Sometimes the simplest way is the most effective. Finally, the meal was ready. A little trouble made the meal even more memorable. One peaceful afternoon, the yard suddenly becomes an imaginary world. From simple drawings, an adventure begins. The path grows longer and longer, and the rules of the game gradually take shape. When adults appear, the challenge becomes more interesting. The rules are simple, but not easy at all. The joy comes from the near falls. When the whole family joins in, the path has no end. The game ends, but the traces remain. A gentle breeze blows through. The game concludes. A seemingly ordinary beach outing.
Wow!
But Bluey and Bingo discovered a mystery.
Whoa!
A treasure map appeared right before their eyes. The search began. But the beach wasn't still. The treasure seemed to be playing a trick on the whole family.
Whoa!
The treasure was cleverly hidden. The best treasure of all is the joy of family. As the afternoon draws to a close, the sky begins to change.
Whoa! Woohoo!
Each cloud seems to be telling a story. The sunset slows everything down.
Oh, bye-bye.
The sun slowly prepares to go to sleep. The last light of the day is so gentle.
Whoa! Bye!
Another day is coming to an end. Silent moments are always memorable. Today ends on a warm note.
The Mystery of the Missing Sock. One morning, Bluey was in big trouble. Her lucky sock had disappeared. Bingo decided to ask his dad.
Oh,
Dad, have you seen Bluey's socks? Dad Bandit thought for a moment, then shook his head, saying he didn't know. Bluey ran straight into the kitchen. Mum, have you seen my sock? Chili's mum shook her head, not knowing where the sock was either. Dad and Mum went out to the backyard to help, and lo and behold, Mum Chili had discovered something. Aha! It turns out the wind blew it onto the clothesline. next time.
The living room was a mess. Bluey realized Dad was about to come home. Bluey quickly looked around the messy room. Bluey started cleaning up quickly. Cleaning up too quickly caused trouble. Bingo ran in, helping to hold the box so Bluey could close the lid.
Aha! Whoa!
Time flew by. The room gradually became tidier. Dad arrived home just in time. Bluey had finished cleaning up before Dad got home.
Wow!
Counting the stairs. Bluey and Bingo stand ready for a simple challenge, climbing the staircase. Bluey starts her climb, and Bandit begins to clap rhythmically, each clap matching a step. Bingo is slightly confused at first, but she quickly finds the rhythm, trying to sync her tiny steps with the claps. The two girls are halfway up. Bandit claps louder and clearer, helping them maintain the count. Bluey glances back to check her dad's rhythm. Bingo misses a step and pauses. She concentrates hard, then steps forward, determined to catch the rhythm of her dad's counting. Finally, Bluey steps onto the last stair, and Bingo follows closely behind. Building a small wooden house. A cool, gentle morning. Dad carries the wood out and places it on the ground. Mom lays out the measuring tape, carefully measuring each piece. Sister uses a pencil to mark the lines. Little brother hugs a handful of nails, running back and forth excitedly. Dad joins two wooden boards to make the frame. The little house tilts slightly. The family stands back to look. Mom points and gently shakes her head. They take it apart and adjust it. Dad hammers in the nails. Thud, thud. Sister holds the board straight. Little brother hands over the hammer. The wrong way. The small wooden house stands firmly. The roof provides just enough cover with a cute low door. The whole family fits perfectly inside the tiny house. They look at one another and smile warmly. A quiet afternoon begins with a curious idea. A treasure map doesn't need to be accurate to be exciting. The adventurer appears, ready for the adventure in the room. A plan is drawn up with imagination and excitement.
Sir, yes, sir!
Following the map, sometimes there will be wrong turns. Knowing when to stop and observe helps find the right path.
Come on, let's go.
Huh?
The treasure seems very close ahead. Not all treasures are gold or silver, but there's still plenty of fun. True joy comes from sharing the rewards together. With imagination, any room can become an adventure. Today, the whole family decided to bake a cake. But things didn't go exactly as planned. Bandit tried to adjust the cake. The more he adjusted, the more misshapen it became. The cake was put in the oven with high hopes, and then the cake started to take on a very strange shape. The cake wasn't pretty, but it was fun. Most importantly, it was the fun of making it together. Cleaning the old storage room morning. The back storage room door opens. The whole family stands in front of the room, filled with old boxes, covered items, and light cobwebs. Dad rolls up his sleeves and lifts a heavy box. Mom opens a notebook and quickly draws 3 sections. Keep, throw away, reuse. Sister opens an old box. An old toy car rolls out. Little brother's eyes go wide. The family looks at each other, then smiles. Quick, playful moments. Dad pushes the car. It hits a table leg and bounces back. Mom releases the car. It rolls in circles. Sister and brother fight over controlling it. Bump! Into an empty box. Everyone bursts out laughing. The storage room becomes brighter, cleaner, more open. The family sits down on the storage room floor. All let out a relieved sigh, smiling softly.
Shooting star.
The night has fallen. Bluey and Bandit settle down for a quiet evening on the veranda after a long day of play.
Bluey gazes up at the twinkling stars, and suddenly she points an excited finger towards the sky. A brilliant, swift streak of light, a shooting star, flies across the dark night sky. Both dad and daughter watch it pass. Bluey turns to look at her dad, her eyes wide with surprise and a little bit of wonder. Bandit gently pulls Bluey into a warm hug.
Bluey closes her eyes, keeping her silent wish completely private.
She opens them, giving a look of pure contentment. Bandit tightens his hug, savoring the special moment.
An ordinary morning in the garden. But it seems something is being hidden.
Huh?
The treasure hunt begins right in the garden. The more you dig, the faster your heart beats. The treasure is very close. Finally, the treasure has appeared. treasure isn't always glittering.
Ah!
The real treasure is the joy of finding it together. Bluey and Bingo embark on a new treasure hunt. According to the map, the treasure is right here. But the treasure hasn't appeared yet. The whole family starts to doubt the map. Bingo discovers a very small detail. The treasure was never buried in the ground. The treasure was hidden right in front of them. Sometimes, treasure is closer than we think. The whole family was having a fun time preparing an outdoor meal. But then the wind started blowing gently. The wind suddenly messed everything up. The whole family had to react quickly. The scarf seemed to be playing tricks on everyone.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes the simplest way is the most effective. Finally, the meal was ready. A little trouble made the meal even more memorable. After many days of use, the family car also needs some maintenance. Bluey and Bingo wanted to help Bandit with this. Taking care of things is a way of showing concern. Bandit showed us how to check the important parts. Working together made everything easier. The car looks completely different now. Taking care of things is a way of showing concern.
Whoa.
A small thing, but it brings joy to the whole family. The final cake in the kitchen. The son and daughter stand on chairs in front of the counter. Flour, eggs, and milk are spread everywhere. The two kids look at each other and nod with determination. The cake comes out of the oven, looking a bit misshapen. They take a bite. Their faces scrunch up. The cake doesn't taste good. They look at each other, disappointed. Dad walks into the kitchen, rolls up his sleeves, looking very confident. He adds more ingredients and turns the oven up higher. Smoke starts to rise. The cake burns. The kitchen fills with smoke. The kids cover their noses. Dad scratches his head, embarrassed. Mom walks in, opens the window, and turns off the oven. She calmly tidies up the kitchen. Mom starts again from scratch. Measures the ingredients properly. Stirs. Gently sets the oven to the right temperature. The kids watch, eyes shining. The new cake comes out of the oven. Golden and fragrant, the whole family takes a bite. The kids' eyes light up as they nod again, and again Dad gives a thumbs up. The whole family laughs. The giant balloon. The family gathers around a huge balloon. Dad holds a hand pump. Mom holds the balloon's neck. The kids watch excitedly.
Whoa.
The balloon grows bigger, bigger. The kids' eyes widen. Dad and Mom exchange a slightly worried look, but keep going. The younger child hugs the balloon tightly. The balloon lifts the child off the ground. Feet dangle in the air. The child laughs and squeals. Dad and Mom gasp. Dad jumps, trying to grab the child. Mom pulls gently on the balloon string. Too weak. The older kid runs to grab a pin/sharp stick. Everyone gestures quickly to each other. Dad and Mom pull an air mattress/inflatable mat underneath. The older kid pops the balloon. Hiss! The balloon slowly deflates. The younger child floats down gently onto the air mattress. Bounces once, then sits up smiling. Everyone exhales in relief. A rainy day changes all plans. But rain also brings interesting sounds. Bluey and Bingo try to imitate the rhythm of falling rain. Everything around us can become a musical instrument. When listening, everyone finds their own rhythm. No need for perfection, just together. Peaceful moments are always special. Even a rainy day has its own joy. Bluey decided to take a short trip to the forest. The trip began with some light preparations. The path into the forest revealed many new things. The forest offered a sense of peace and tranquility. Bingo and Bluey explored the forest. A break made the trip even more fulfilling. The forest trip continued with many interesting things. The trip to the forest brought simple and memorable joys. Outdoor cooking transforms an ordinary day into a happy picnic. Bluey begins setting up the picnic area. Everything needed is brought out into the yard. Preparation is also part of the fun. Bingo wants to join Bluey in cooking. Bluey is very serious about her dish. The outdoor picnic area is gradually being completed. Carrying food outside requires care. outdoor meal is ready. A simple but joyful meal. Outdoor cooking transforms an ordinary day into a happy picnic. The balancing act. Bluey spots a bird perched on the fence and decides to challenge herself with a little balancing game. She slowly lifts one leg, arms out wide, trying to keep her body as still as a statue. But balancing is harder than it looks. Bluey begins to wobble and her little legs start to shake. Dad Bandit notices and steps right beside her. He circles his hands around her, creating a silent safety zone. Seeing her dad's hands nearby, Bluey feels a surge of confidence. She takes a deep breath and regains her focus. Thanks to the silent support, Bluey holds her balance longer than before. She feels strong and very capable. Fixing the outdoor table. A quiet morning. The wooden outdoor table wobbles slightly. Every gentle touch makes the tabletop tremble. The family stands around, looking at one another. Dad nods. Let's fix it. Dad kneels down and tightens the bolts with a wrench. Clack, clack. A soft metallic sound. Mom hands over a small wooden piece, placing it under the shorter table leg. Sister wipes the tabletop with a cloth. Dust sparkles in the sunlight. Little brother holds the table leg, tilting his head, watching very seriously. Dad places a cup of water in the middle of the table. Everyone holds their breath. The cup stays still. No shaking, no spilling. The family laughs happily. The little brother claps with a loud smack. The great cleanup battle morning. Mom stands in the middle of the living room, hands on her hips. She takes a deep breath, then gives a strong signal. Clean up! The whole family jumps. They look around at the piles of clutter. Dad takes the mop. Sister hugs a stack of clothes. Little brother drags a box of toys. Dad mops too hard. Water splashes onto the couch and the wall. Sister finishes folding. The stack tilts. Crash! Clothes spill everywhere. Little brother stuffs toys into the box. The box gets too full. Pop! Toys fly all over the floor. The family stands in the middle of the room, staring at the new chaos. Mom steps into the center, signals to start over. Everyone works in rhythm. The room gradually becomes tidy again. The living room is clean and bright. They look at one another, then burst out laughing. After trimming the trees, a corner of the garden brightened up. This is the perfect place for a change. It doesn't work just anywhere. A little trial and error is necessary.
Hey!
Just turn it in the right direction. The garden corner began to come alive. Even a small corner can bring great joy. The house became warmer from simple changes.
A lightning-fast cleanup in 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes left. Mum and Dad are almost home, but the living room looks like a toy battlefield. The race against time begins. Bluey is in command. Bingo is executing. Not a single piece is allowed to be out of place. Bingo tried her best with her little hands. A slight misstep didn't discourage her because Bluey was right behind her, providing support. Everyone had a task. Some took care of the upper floors, others cleaned the lower ones. The pace of cleaning the Healer house had never been so frantic. This is the hardest part. 1, 2, 3. A fantastic teamwork between the two sisters. Almost done. Bluey is using its versatile tail, while Bingo is meticulously smoothing out each thread on the carpet. The door opened. A spotless room and 2 radiant smiles. The lightning-fast cleaning mission, a resounding success.
Bluey and Bingo are playing soccer very gently in the yard. Police Rhino notices the ball rolling slowly. Police Rhino decides to try the game. Police Rhino prepares very seriously for the first kick. The gentle kick creates a rather unexpected moment.
Aha!
Everyone quickly realizes the force of the kick needs to be adjusted. The game continues in a more fun way.
Okay.
A kick of just the right strength makes everyone very happy.
Yeah!
The slow pace of play makes the game very enjoyable. A simple game is enough to bring gentle laughter. On a cool afternoon, water can also bring joy. Water balloons look so special. No need to throw, just observe. Even a small movement creates excitement. Surprises come so gently. Playing safely is also important. Joy doesn't need to be loud. A little game for a cool afternoon.